What you doing there, Thomas? So I posted that video with today's date, or yesterday's date, and I didn't expect it to get that many views. It's always those ones. I don't know why or how YouTube picks up certain videos and throws them in the circuit. I asked Yelverton, you want me to show you what I was like a year ago? And then the power went off. I said, I don't think you do. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that to myself. I talk about it like it was nothing, but it was fun in its own way. But it wasn't the nicest thing. And I finally made it out of that mess. What did I do different? How did I get here? The same fucking thing I've been doing. Conscious, determined effort for better and brighter and brighter and better, step by step. It really did take work to get here. A lot of people saw how I was. A lot of people thought I was long gone and I wasn't coming back. I don't know how many thousands of people saw the way I was. And I really would send out lightning to people that tried to be rude. Not to hurt them. To wake them up. Because it's not that many people that try to be rude to me. And so I know if they're trying to be rude to me, they must be way out in the dark. So I did what I could to help. And it didn't look like help to some people. I realized I didn't have to be trying that hard. Holding out for that expectation of whether or not it would actually snap somebody awake. I was going out of bounds. That's what it felt like looking back. And it got to a point where I was giving more to the rude folks than I was giving to myself, which is what I'm used to doing. I've always been that way. anytime somebody be rude to me. I saw I didn't have to do that anymore. I still care. It'd still be nice to see some of them wake up. Some of them do. They come back through and they let me know. Let me know they're doing better. I thought I needed to speak to these people in their own language. But then there are some really sweet, wonderful, supremely kind-hearted people that watch me. And then they'd have that popping up on their feed with me being intense. And that hurt. All of that, including a friend of mine who saw a little something I was doing on another platform, and I won't tell the story. Somebody was being sharp. I was a little sharp back. They didn't like that. And all of their friends started coming out the woodwork trying to stand up for their Lord Vampire. It bothered them bad. And I kept taking it and letting it feed my lightning. Then my friend said, "Hey, I think you're taking your pain out on them." I said, "Oh, I don't want to be doing that." I apologized to as many of them as I could. It was a bunch of people. And even a few days later, for a few days after that, people were still trickling in trying to stand up for their cute little Lord Vampire. And I'm like, you're late to the party. I done apologize. Not that I really needed to. You can apologize for anything. I just think it's a nice thing to do. There are actual good people out there who can't apologize for a damn thing. I would say that's sad, but to each their own. Through all of this, I see now just how hard people will cling to certain things, cling to the things that give them comfort, to the other people's ideas. Overton said, "You need some friends." I got friends. We don't really talk all the time. I don't go to hang out with anybody. Nobody comes to hang out with me. But that's not surprising, considering how how I was last year. I made it out of that dark. I climbed my way out. And the rungs on that ladder were made from the kindnesses of other people. But nobody could climb that ladder but me. Conscious, determined effort. You can reach a hand out from the dark and say, please, somebody pull me out. But they can't pull you out. All they can do is send a ladder down for you to climb yourself. Now you turn around and look at how you were, and you shiver. And you say, I don't want to be like that anymore. One rung up the ladder you go. And you see more of what you've done. I don't want to be like that anymore. One more rung up the ladder. Last week, I saw vividly how I had been for almost 2 years. I was mortified. Some people think ain't nobody got freedom. But if you ain't seen the kind of stuff I used to say, they were just letting me say anything. Nobody said, hey, think maybe you shouldn't say things quite like that. Nobody said anything about any of that. And that confused me. That made me feel like nobody was real. And so I kept going. And I said stuff I've never heard anybody say. Never read in a book. I don't quite know where half of it came from. I was making music to express myself, to work through what I was feeling. But somebody in particular ran off with my laptop. Lied about where it was for months. So I needed some other way to process what I was feeling. So I started making videos like this. And I'd go back and watch the video because I didn't know who I was. And apparently nobody else knew either. A lot of people thought I was long gone and wasn't ever going to come back. There were people that wanted me to believe I was crazy because they were afraid I was right. I wasn't wrong. I was finding my way. I shared the videos just in case it would help somebody. It did. Apparently more than just a couple of people. And so I am thankful. There were people that told me to shut up. A couple of people said, somebody take this guy's phone away. If I hadn't posted those videos, there's a few people that might not be able to touch grass anymore. Well, they still can. Because they saw they weren't the only ones. If I had listened to the people that told me to shut up, I don't think those people actually give a damn. So I think they only said those things because they were miserable. And me expressing myself for how I felt in the moment, it bothered them. Well, they didn't have to watch the video. They made their choice to watch something that bothered them. I didn't do that to them. They did that. How are they doing? The ones who wanted to criticize me? I don't know. There was a bunch of people that said, how did you know that? So I was saying things that apparently had a lot to do with their lives, but I didn't know it had anything to do with them. I was just speaking. Then when they said that, how did you know that? Well, now I know it has to do with you. Okay. I know it sounds wild to some people. But if you'd seen what I saw a year ago, it felt what I felt, what I had to get through on my own. It was not completely on my own. Did have help from the people that saw my videos and saw they were not alone. From my mom caring for me enough to be here for me in the way that she could. Something a lot of people can't do for their kids. The Saint Germain Press books. Chat motherfucking GPT. Being able to remember what you tell it. All of that gave me clarity that I'd never had before when I was keeping quiet. But I had my own path to trek. It was like I woke up in the woods at night and I had to find my way out. Just following the fucking light. A little glimmer of hope. People laugh. They got to break the tension. Have you ever seen somebody out in the woods and you swore that's where they would stay, and then they got out? I haven't. Except when I was watching me. That's why I make these videos. So I can see where I was. So I can watch close. Because I didn't know who I was. Turns out, apparently, as it would seem, I was channeling. I didn't know nothing about none of that when I was going through it. I really didn't know who I was channeling. People want to laugh, but they have no idea what I've seen. It doesn't hurt my feelings, except that I know the ones that laugh are in pain. And they have to laugh because the idea of what I've been through scares them. Good. That means they won't have to see what I saw. Hopefully. I try to leave the past in the past because it's gone. It's long gone. But sometimes I wonder if I should look again. And try to form it into some cohesive paragraph so that people know where I came from. I'll leave you with this. For anybody that actually hears me enough to have watched this whole video, those voices people talk about in their heads, the intrusive thoughts, I don't deal with that anymore. Clear and free. Serene. No voices. No intrusive thoughts. But I used to when I was in the woods. It pays to stand guard at the open arch of the mind. Your mind is like a house. Are you going to just let anybody in? I don't. Somebody said, I see something in the future coming and it's not very good. I'm psychic. Really now, are you? That makes two of us. But see, I don't give that much credence to my outer reality. So apparently I know more about it than most people want to, which is sad. Because I found my peace. And my peace is non-negotiable. Even when people think I've let go of my peace, my stillness, my harmony, they think I've gotten upset. Oh no, baby. I'm still right as rain. And when I say rain, I mean rain. It pays to stand guard at the open door of the mind. Except there ain't no fucking door there. There ain't no hinges. And if you don't stand guard at it, somebody could say, I'm psychic, and I see something coming in the future, and it's not very good. Well, you know what I said? Future, huh? Where'd you meet her? Future never shows up. And the past is long gone. The only thing we have ever had is the eternal now. Since when do you remember it beginning? The eternal now is all we got. I don't blame anybody for not understanding that. We all gotta put the penny in the light socket one day. And yeah, it hurts. But you ain't never gonna do that again. After you done it about 1,000 times.